you because I want the American citizens to be able to read it. You can start at page 217 of the legislation where it says requiring Senate notification for disclosure of Senate data. And there's a lot of with respect to's and other things in the first pages. But when you get over to page 223, you'll see where they've created a private cause of action. Specifically for them. And it goes on and it says that cause of action, this is on page 224, any senator whose Senate data or the Senate data of whose Senate office has been acquired, subpoenaed, searched, accessed, or disclosed in violation of this section may bring a civil action against the United States if the violation was committed by an officer, employee, or agent of the United States or any federal department of agents or agency. Relief. Senator prevails on a claim under this subsection, the court shall, not may, shall award for each instance of a violation of this section the greater of, not the lesser of, the greater of statutory damages of $500,000 or the amount of actual damages, reasonable attorney fees, cost of litigation, and it goes on from there. Now, there's other language in here, waiver of sovereign immunity, no qualified immunity, and there's other language in here too that indicates that each line would be an additional payment. And so most of us as members have a campaign phone, campaign email, personal phone, personal email, and then a business phone, business email. That's 6 violations the way they count. If they went for all of them, 6. Minimum of $500,000 each. Now, I don't think, and I've been asking questions on this since last night. And I'm gonna tell you, I don't think that Senate leadership shared with the leadership of the House what they were doing. Now, I want the Democrats to know this. My understanding is that Chuck Schumer was very much aware and signed off on this particular thing as well. So just, y'all might want to ask questions about that. I'm just telling the truth on this. Is as soon as I found out about it, I started asking questions. But they're saying, well, the executive branch shouldn't be checking up on the legislative branch. Well, there's some truth to that. There's a lot of truth to it. I believe in separation of powers. And they talk about it being good governance. The thing that I can't get past, though, and this is, again, for the American citizens, if you go to page 227 of the bill, limited retroactive applicability. In general, the amendments made by this section shall apply to any acquisition, subpoena, search, accessing, disclosure of Senate data as defined in Section 10A of the Legislative Branch Appropriations Act 2005, and to any failure to disclose such an acquisition, subpoena, search, accessing, or disclosure occurring on or after January 1 of 2022. So it's given them the ability to retroactively go back. We know. We literally know who, at least, we may not know all of them, but we at least know the list of some of them. In this paragraph, the term violation section 10 is the meaning given to the violation section. It goes on from there, but there's also language in there where it indicates that each account is a separate payment. Now, this language did not go through any committee markup. This language was not shared with the House Representatives prior to it being put in the bill. And I personally agree that it should be removed.
Okay, enough. It's garbage acting. Millennial. Niece, what's up, babies? What's on? What's going on, sisters? I'm going to talk about what happened last night, and then I'm going to talk about the Chickasaw, or the Choctaw, what's inherently part of who I am, and how I treat the enemy of my people. And I'm not talking about the frauds playing my people, because not in that one of them will stand up. I met a few, and I stepped right to them, and they stood down. And I know there's some young ones, but I'm good. Stop with your made-up history. You're not the original people, because the Chickasaw, the Choctaw are Negroidal people. Now, yes, a whole lot of different Asians coming to this land, fighting alongside the fake Hindus and the and these damn Bolshevik monkeys or whatever you want to call them, married into the families. Diplomacy when we made treaties, because fierce warriors, very good at torturing and killing. We never spared a quarter, nothing. These fake laws don't stop the rest of us who are real Chickasaw. And I stepped to them in Oklahoma and everywhere. I says, you're not my great relatives. You weren't even here with my great ones. And sometimes want to get up, and there'll be somebody like, no, he can box like really good. It was forget the boxing. There's more to it. It's a moratorium of truth and ideology. What used to bother me don't bother me no more. When the idiot, first let me say this, there are things that move that I can see. I'm aware of angered spirits, souls, whatever you want to call it. That's not what we really call it. That move around that I see well. But they never really bother with me. People usually don't see them. But I knew this wasn't one, because he approached a pale-skinned woman in a car. She hit a horn, she got scared and started to back up. So I jumped out the vehicle and says, yo! So I showed him a machete. And I says, I'll take this machete if you have a weapon. If you don't, I'm gonna knock you out. I'll choke you out. And I told him I will enjoy doing it. I should have kept the phone recording and just put it in the front of the truck. And because I was so calm, I wasn't even, I don't worry. But he did catch me off guard, because he ran up the side of my truck and banged on my window. And that's when I told you I keep things reserved. I jumped out the truck, I ran around to the front. I said, and he backed up and he realized, holy smack. We sobered up for a moment. I said, man up. But I was still calm. You can see, holding the camera, I was talking to him, and when he was walking up, because I knew that the camera at that night with the lighting, the Note 10 camera is not that good. Distant wise, because the focus takes a while. You can see my hands not shaking. I'm just like, I wanted to put the phone down and I wanted to deal with the man, the individual, not a man. Because see, when I came out of the store and I was greeting certain people, oh, blah, blah, blah. And I walked over to my vehicle, I didn't see anybody. Now, I don't always look around all the way around it, because I was parked where there's nobody around me. So I walked up and I hit the door opener, the electric door opener. And when I opened it to get in, I heard like somebody trying to open my door on the other side. I said, what the? And this guy comes around and yo, you all right, man? This is my vehicle. So the door's open. And he's standing there with a drink and some food, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't matter. You know me, I make eye-to-eye contact because I can see everything. So I said, yo, you okay, man? You all right? Now, you know me, I always, when I see a person moving and they start talking incoherently, I look at the whole body. I look at anything bulging or hanging, not out of fear, how I'm going to deal with the individual. It's just the way it is. And he goes, this is my car. I said, yeah, my man, do yourself a favor and go on to which you came. I'm only going to ask this one time. And if you don't hear me, then you deal with the consequences. Next time you'll think about what you consume. So, whatever I said, I don't hold on. I don't act stout. So whatever I said was of decency, I guess. A form of diplomacy. Because I don't get all... Some people, you hear me talking and that's because we're all used to that. That's not who I am. Tomas, all of them know I don't do all that blah, blah, blah. I'll invite you outside. I'll say, hey, look, man, forget all that. Let's go outside. Nobody, please don't follow. Let's go outside and talk. However you want to talk. And I mean it. Tomas will tell you, at the bowling alley, teacher's mama was there. And she came up to me, please don't tell teacher I was drinking. And when the guy started acting up, she goes, oh my God, because she's seen me. And she's like, please, James, don't do nothing. The guy behind the bar was an off-duty cop or some punk mother. Right, young, stupid. He don't have no clue about me. I think maybe he even heard something, thought that, But the old guy that was there, the young guy he was drinking with, was grabbing him saying, no. The old guy, ex-Klan member. Tomas didn't know that, but we talk guns. And he says, please don't. He's telling this guy who's had a little too much to drink, and I said, stop. I told the old guy, stop. He's 15 years older than me, 20, so 78. I said, stop. Then the Navajo brother came around and says, a warning. He told him to stop. This guy wanted to talk big brute, because some people, when they get a little too much liquid, or maybe somebody put them to the task, it's very dangerous. I says, look, let's go right out that door right there. Nobody will see nothing. We can talk. So, yesterday evening, it's not ego or anything. I'm being as honest as I can. I says, look, well, when I told him to get away from the vehicle, and he says, no, this is my car. And I says, car? This is a truck. I said, yo, go about your business. I said, oh, somebody. I look around where I peripheral, I like pay attention to everything while looking at him. I don't know somebody in the dark, because I was going to run into the woods over there where the coyotes at and see if there's some little agents over there, because I had a field day. Anyway, I'm starting to think maybe somebody put him to the test because I'm fasting. I didn't mean this calm. I'm going to tell it. They can push it further if that's the case, but I don't think so. I don't know. He put his hands on me. So I grabbed the door and slammed it in his face, knocked his drink out of food out of his hand, knocked his ass back about 2-3 feet. I don't know how far. That's when I put my everything down, the phone down, and I was getting ready to mop him, but it was calmness. It wasn't like everything was just how you move when you know how to move. And I said, wait a minute. I'm fasting with purpose. So I said, you need to go on about your business. By then he was walking. He was halfway across the damn lot. I says, you know what? You get your little fake punk, pale nigger ass up out of here is what you do. Ignorant, or whatever you all want to call it. And he turned around, you're a nigger. I said, oh, no, you actually are. I'm orthogonous. I'm original. You're the broken. He ain't saying nothing else after that. That's when he turned around, because he felt some kind of way, liquid courage. And he started walking. That's when the young lady that pulling in, he walked right at her, and she hit on him. The lady over there, I don't know who she was. I think she just ducked down and hid, or was peeking, And that's when I jumped out in front of the truck, look, I'm gonna fuck you up. I just told him, I will fuck you up. I am fasting. I don't want no part of it, what you're doing, or whatever you're going through, but I will fucking either. I don't want to hit somebody, knock them out, and their head hit the ground and they die. But at that moment, I didn't care. I really don't care. But he had alcohol, spirits, we call it, back in the old days. And this alcohol is not the same. So I refrained. But when he walked at the lady, I said, let me call the police. I said, if it was a test, an act was all, and they wanted to see, it's not a healthy thing to do. Not at all. So I cursed his ass. I'm telling you right here and now, I cursed his ass. See how long he lives. This is not a game. I'm putting it out there. People want to play. They think this is a game. And your goofy chat GP AI, whatever you want to call it. You check my voice. You can hear my lungs and the quiver or nod. You can see my facial features. I don't have to act. Let's see. Am I lying? Whatever y'all think lying is, I don't even get that no more. Something is wrong, but I don't care. I thought I'd just share it and let you guys know. Stay in your fucking lane. Mind your mannerism, whatever that is. Don't go outside your little circle, your square. And besides that, I have this communication where I don't know you. I don't care what you want, or 3 feet. Hell, from 12 to 15, person with a gun, a person with a knife can get you before you shoot them. This is a known fact. So, I wasn't going to shoot the man. We're on the Pima Reservation. He shouldn't be drunk on the Pima Reservation, no matter where it's at. And I also wanted to see how the police would react, knowing that there was a man, the liberator, how you say it? Oh, they putting up the tent for the kids right there. Okay. Anyway, I can't wait. I love to watch the kids play there. So anyway, and make sure they're safe. He was inebriated, intoxicated. Are you out, brother? Okay. I thought, okay. Where you fishing at next?
I'm going home now.
Oh, okay, brother.
I'll be back.
Okay, yeah, I'll be here for 4 hours, man.
Okay.
But yeah, I might throw a rod and reel in too. See if I can catch a catfish or something. I'm not keeping it, eating it. These are farmed. But I curse him not. I don't want him to die, the physical death. I want him to know. So whatever curse I laid upon him is whatever y'all call it curse. I'm just using that because that's how y'all understand it. That's not what it is. But I was so calm, and I want y'all to realize I went into a deep calmness, and I says I'm not going to exert myself. I'm fasting. I don't want to hurt this young man. I didn't want to get at him. But I knew what I would do. Because when he put his arms on me, I think me smacking him with the door in his face and his head, and then pushing his, because I pushed him with my left arm. And y'all know, I was standing not in the way to push anybody, and he didn't have no core. He didn't have no balance. So I knew right off the back, the moment I would have defense and went on the offense, there's no way he could have, especially when I started. Even if I was just to snatch and grab him and choke him out or anything, I didn't want to do none of that. There was no one for that. I wanted him to correct himself. I wasn't increasing energy and none of that. I was in a very calm state. And so when the police came, they were all young. I said, well, I did a little stand-up. I'll make them laugh right quick. But I was very, very, how y'all say authoritative? Because I don't recognize the badge or uniform. I recognize the men and how they perform. Not in policies or procedures. Procedures like going to the dojo or the gymnasium and practicing. You learn the procedures gifted by the sabanam, the sifu, whatever, the instructor, if you're a pugilist. But policies ain't got a damn thing to do with law. I wanted to see if they were lawful and if they have been astute and learned when they were in that 6 months of college. If they became police when they were still allowing colleges. And they were respectful. I don't like making short conversation. Yet it was more about the individual and him not coming back, creating another symptom that need to be diagnosed. And the way they act said it could have been an act. But I don't care. I just let him know if he comes back, I'll call you guys again. My thing was to make sure that the lady was safe. Me, I'm all right. That's a fact. Now, with that being said, I believe SNAP is back. So I guess the 78 to 80% of pale skins are going to get their food stamps. And the other 18, a derivative of disabled 2% melanated people, Spanish, black, whatever you want to call that crayon color, and Asians are going to get theirs. So please, everybody, relax with the media and all the stupid stuff. Stop with the 33 million American white men. Stop, 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 stop. You can't take 78 to 100 million of us, 78 to 80 million of us, with us over 70 million women, melanated women, black women, and 40 million black men. We outnumber everybody on this land. So please stop. For once, stop being Bolshevik stupid, Zionist stupid, and lying, because our people are running around with their head up their butt and half crazy. It doesn't matter the congregation of numbers. Please stop. For your sake. Pardon. Hey, Tara Johnson, Baby Girl Slaughter, Millennial Best, Cookie Monster. What's your question marks? You confused? If you don't know, you don't have to stay here. How you doing? DJ Puckett, Wyoming, what's happening? 360 at the fuel pump. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I pay $3.19 at Walmart, and it's ridiculous all the way around. There's still a place in Texas where you can get it for $1.75. And going out in the outskirts, kind of far. It's all a game, because you see what's going on in the UK. My boy was hitting me up and a few other people saying that they're really pushing for this ID stuff, and they're fighting back. The problem is you have enough youth in the military who are stupid. I actually watched the thing on the Marines where one guy was talking about, yeah, we'll kill any and everybody. You know, I've seen the heart of the ignorant. And that's why I say they locked so many of our people up, and now you're seeing that a lot of our people have been locked up egregiously and innocently because of dumbass racist punk cops who should not be police. And our people not be lied to and misguided by these fake ass churches and these worthless parents who are put in the system and the structure that they got weak to, and they allowed because of the damn churches. So I do hold the black church and the Muslim, I hold all of them accordingly and accountable. And if people can't put that together and you're still moving with like some of these goofy ass cops who retired and they done studied and learned some of the shit that we actually created, and they walking around and black people in the neighborhood are big booties and all this other dumb stuff they saying, it shows that they're not too fucking bright. Do not be like them. Okay? A lot of our Latino our Spanish speaking brothers and sisters have always been with us. So people, stop the division based on Hollywood, fake ass Zionist ran BET and everything else. Stop it. I know way too many of our people on both sides who've always been together. So stop the bullshit. And light skinned and melanated, Asian and melanated, we are fucking locked in more than the minimal number of Hollywood and everything else. Yet they pushing all the commercials, especially with medicine. They always show you a white man with a black woman, and they treat the sisters worse than anything. Melanated man with the white woman, and the white woman treat the melanated man worse than anything. But there are still good relationships. Asians and melanated men, whether African, American, Negro, and wherever else, they get along just fucking fine. Hindu women and melanated men, American Negroes and Africans get along fucking fine. What is the problem? It's the Zionist Bolshevik motherfuckers, and none of y'all want to listen to anything and pay attention to be better than, and you keep worrying about some little punk-ass IDF fake soldier, because they're not soldiers, not warriors or nothing. They're warlike. And y'all keep worrying about what they got to say because they're too stupid to get it together. So you better get it together. And I'll be coming on and reading it. Matter of fact, let me read something right now. The Power of Now, A Guide to Spiritual Enlightenment by Cthulhu. Toward a different order of reality. I don't agree that the body needs to die. I am convinced that we can achieve physical immortality. Oh, yeah. We believe in death, and that's why the body dies. You damn sure do. You believe in the pain, the ailment. I'm going to tell you something about this morning. I'm going to share something with you. You might say, that's personal. No, you need to hear it. That way you can prepare yourself in case it may happen. The body does not die because you believe in death. The body exists, or seems to, because you believe in death. Let me read that again. The body does not die because you believe in death. The body exists, or seems to, because you believe in death. Body and death are part of the same illusion, created by the egoic mode of consciousness. You know, I gotta run. My body's hurting and aching. I don't think I can go another mile. But the funny thing is, you say I'll practice it for another 2 weeks or a month, and then you're running it and not realizing that you could have done it beforehand, but your body wasn't oxygenated because you didn't know about breathing appropriately, you didn't know about proper diet, you didn't know about the sustainability because you're moving too much in the physical, not in the spiritual, which was no awareness of the source of life. It has no awareness. It has no awareness of the source of life and sees itself as separate and constantly under threat. That's why I was calm. I don't care. I don't recognize these threats. I don't care. That is the harsh way to say it. I guess it's deeper than that, but if I express it the way I really know, that means you're not paying attention to the readings, you're not studying, and you're listening to a bunch of knuckleheads who don't know nothing, who are easy to kill. I don't believe in that, but it's the truth. So it creates the illusion that you're a body, a dense physical vehicle that is constantly under threat. Is it? Is it as dense as you? I thought it was 90-something%, 80-something% water. Air, oxygen, carbon, H2O, all this other stuff, a whole lot of stuff, ain't it? If it was dense, like wood, which is a lie, to perceive yourself as a vulnerable body that was born and a little later dies, that's the illusion. Even when I said we used to live over 2,000 years, my great-great-uncles knew people who were over 200, 300 years old. All that had to be hidden. Why? So you can't perceive any other context other than poison, mayhem, food poisoning, and a shorter life when we used to live long, and we still do. The thing is, don't worry about how long. That means you apply yourself to time. Stop being all-inclusive to this fictional narrative called time. Mosquito. Body and death, one illusion. You cannot have one without the other. You want to keep one side of the illusion and get rid of the other. But that is impossible. Either you keep all of it or you relinquish all of it. However, you cannot escape from the body, nor do you have to. The body is an incredible misperception of your true nature. But your true nature is concealed somewhere within that illusion, not outside it. So the body is still the only point of access to it. And that's why they need to imprison you in it. Give you this fictional narrative and everything else. You see how the monkeys run off? However, you cannot escape from the body, nor do you have to. The body is an incredible misperception. I need to reiterate this. Excuse me. The body is an incredible misperception of your true nature. But your true nature is concealed somewhere within that illusion. The body perfect, the body magnifique. Yet, why don't you move magnifique, perfect? Not outside it, so the body is still the only point of access to it. If you saw an angel but mistook it for a stone statue, all you would have to do is adjust your vision and look more closely at the stone statue. Not start looking somewhere else. You would then find that there never was a stone statue. In belief in death if belief in death, creates the body, why does an animal have a body? An animal doesn't have an ego, and it doesn't believe in death. You have become the most ignorant consortium of a perfect existence of lie. Now step out of that perfect existence of a lie. Don't worry about what you see, what you look at, and how it conceptually looks at you, because you are more than the perception of it. Now, I'm not going to get fancy and dance around with these words that these monkeys use while they're destroying your ignorance. When you stop being ignorant, then you negate a whole nother narrative. Appreciate y'all taking the time to listen. I hope you share this. Hope you comment. I hope it's something meaningful. And if you want, you can donate. Well, you don't have to. It's not about control, especially when you don't know how to make choices. Have a good day, and I'll see y'all here in a few hours. I might see if I can catch something. I'm not going to keep these things. They're farmed, and I'll be gently show these people out, instead of throwing them in the water, how to put them back. And they don't know that they're connected, regardless of farmed or whatever. Anyway, appreciate you guys. See you guys later.